homeowner did say the house was haunted.
Upon my arrival, I realized that this is the Russian/Jewish cemetery.
At the house, have seen like the silhouette of a woman.
The shotgun shots go off, and I could hear the pellets.
Welcome and happy Halloween. I am your host, Kevin C. McIntosh, aka Stu Disorder, the news reporter. And today we are here to listen to some spooky stories. Meredith, please take it away. Give us your spooky story.
So about this time last year, I was heading to a photo shoot in downtown Savannah. It was like a regular day. I pulled up to the photo shoot. The house was super cute. I walked in and the agent was staging the home downstairs. And she just told me, hey, I'm not ready downstairs yet. If you wouldn't mind, please start upstairs. Now, mind you, it was just the agent and I at the house. So after I wrapped up the shoot, we started turning out the lights and we were downstairs at the time. And we heard someone clearly walking upstairs. We heard like footsteps upstairs. And I looked at the agent and I said, is anyone else here? And she was like, no. And I was like, I was literally just upstairs. I didn't see anyone. And she said, it was bad. And she said, oh, I forgot to mention, the homeowner did say the house was haunted.
What? What? How do you forget to tell somebody that?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, girl, this is vital information. Like.
Okay, so real quick, would you have entered the house if she told you it was haunted in advance? I love that. Wait, so another quick question: Do you believe in ghosts and spirits?
I do. I think it's real. I think there's like a whole nother realm. Yeah, I do.
So you need to ask yourself, do you believe in ghosts? Meredith does, but maybe you're someone that requires a little more evidence. Our next photographer has just that.
It was about a year ago. I was photographing a house in Ann Arbor, and this house is over 100 years old. So it's seen a few things. The agent told me it was built by the steel tycoon that came in Ann Arbor. They said that they've seen a woman standing in the upstairs windows, and there's been sounds and banging and activity and some movement in a couple of the upstairs bedrooms. And then there was a construction worker that was there working. It was late. It was like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. He was there alone. And he heard somebody come up behind him and shush him really loudly while he was listening to his music. And, you know, he's got his machines going, and they shushed him really, really loud at his ear. And he was there by himself. So he was just like, I'm going to leave now. So.
Wait, did he leave without finishing the job?
Yeah, he came back the next day and finished. He was just like, all right, I'll take the hint. You're ready for bed, so I'm gonna go.
He is I and I am him. I would have left immediately. There's no way. If I'm listening to music and I feel a tap and someone shishes me and no one else is there, see, that already will put me on edge. The fact that I'm there by myself. If I hear or see anything else, I am gone. But wait a minute, you said there was a situation with a woman in the window or something like that? What was that again?
Yeah, people who have been like outside, they're in the garden, and they've looked up at the house, have seen like the silhouette of a woman in the upstairs windows.
No.
But there wasn't any there wasn't a ton of details about what the woman looked like, but yeah, they've seen that. And the realtor that I was working with, he was the current owner when I was taking the photos, and he said his kids experienced the noises in their rooms and was hearing all this movement from these ghosts in the house. And he said they never had any issues, like they were never mean or malicious or anything, but they were just there. They were like, all right, we're gonna let you know we're here. But
some nice ghosts, some Caspers,
yeah.
Some friendly
exactly.
ghosts.
They were friendly, they were not malicious.
Friendly ghosts or not, I've watched The Walking Dead long enough to know one thing. It's not the dead you need to worry about. It's the living.
Arrived at a house one day, and it was a joint driveway house, meaning that the driveway led to two different houses. And as I was approaching, I didn't really know where to park my car because I was doing drone photos, and you never want to have your car in the shot, obviously. And so as I pull in, I'm looking for spots, and there's not really a spot to park. except right inside the right to the left of the drive, right when you enter. And so I park my car there. I walk up the long driveway, find out the house is on the right, not the left. Well, I happened to park on the left, and didn't think much about it until I was actually in the house. While I was in the house, I'm taking the photos of the house. I'm hearing a car speed up and down the driveway, probably pushing like 55, 60 miles an hour. Like there's like dust flying up and around behind the car. I'm like, what is this lady doing? She's just speeding up and down her driveway. And I'm just like, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, what's going on here? So I finish the house and everything's good. And I get the perimeter shots with my camera around the house. And then so I go and take the drone off. And so I'm back towards my car. So I'm like maybe like a quarter of a mile away down the ways, and I see this car speeding towards me down the driveway, and I'm like, so this is the lady that's been speeding up and down her driveway for like the past like 30 minutes. I'm just like, she jumps out of her car and tells me to get the F off her property, pulls up her shirt, has a handgun, and flashes her handgun at me, and I'm just like,
whoa,
like,
dude.
okay. And so I just got off so I basically backed my car up, I backed out of their house, I parked my car, but she flashed her gun at me, and she was not playing around. She was like, get the F off my property. And I was just like, oh, okay. And this isn't the first time this has happened. Like, I actually was at a shoot one time, and I had my drone. I was taking a shoot of a house that was a larger property. It's about 20 acres. And so I had the drone up pretty high. Luckily, I had the drone up pretty high because I started hearing shotgun shots go off, and I could hear the pellets from the shotgun shells falling and hitting the ground. Like, I could hear the ding, 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 and I'm just like,
what? But wait a minute, back up. Let's back up. For clarity, you heard shotgun shells. Clearly, you heard them, and you heard the pellets to the point that it was close. So were they shooting at you, or are you?
They're shooting the gun straight up into the sky, trying to shoot my drone down.
Oh.
So it was just basically like rain pellets of shotgun shells, and then I ended up calling the homeowner. I was like, hey, listen, your neighbor's shooting at my drone. Can you tell him to stop? And they luckily stopped, but they like laughed about it with her afterwards. And like, she told me, he was like laughing about it. I'm like, man, this is a $3,000 piece of equipment. Like,
wow. Oh my goodness. No, that is wild.
If you thought that story was wild, what does a Russian cemetery and a naked landlord have to do with real estate photography? Давайте узнаем.
So I live in Brooklyn myself, and when he sent me the email, I realized that it's not that far, but it's yet not that close. It was still in Brooklyn. It had to take me about like 45 minutes, door to door, from mine. However, I was never warned that they have constructions everywhere. They have constructions everywhere in this neighborhood. So driving the car was hard. So I got there and I realized that I cannot even reach my destination because I am blocked in the middle of nowhere. And the only way I can get there is through one of the hugest cemeteries. And upon my arrival, I realized that this is the Russian/Jewish cemetery. So I said, okay, it's 15 minutes walk through the cemetery and I'll be there. It should be fine. I don't have to be nervous. I started seeing people on the cemetery. Everybody Russian speaking. And they were like, hi, honey, what are you doing here? You came to visit your grandparents? You came to say hi to your mom and dad? Then the gentleman comes out of the corner. Hey, but maybe you need help? I'm like, no, thank you. I don't need help in the cemetery. I'm just going to work. And then he goes, do you work in a cemetery? Mm-mm. I'm like, no, I have a photo shoot here. You have a photo shoot on a cemetery, but you cannot take the pictures for fun on a cemetery. I'm like, no, it's just like a detour because everything is blocked. You guys have road constructions here and don't even have updates on GPS that you have road constructions. And he said, so you came here for fun, or you came to say hi to somebody? So 10 minutes later, after all this nightmare, because I was stressed enough after, like, when this all started happening. I mean, like, I was kind of curious, but still, it wasn't like the familiar environment to myself. And then I finally reached the final destination. There was a huge block of flats right in front of a cemetery.
Whoa, you went through a lot just to get there. Like there's so much leading to that story. I don't know if I would even made it.
I know it was kind of a lot, because I said it's fine. If there was just a regular cemetery, I would be fine. Happens.
Yeah.
These were constructions. But when you're Russian speaking who didn't live in Russia, and then you see all that and they start speaking Russian to you, you're like. And usually when we work with clients, agents ask them to clean the apartment, to make everything fixed, to make everything clean. When we arrived to proceed with the photo shoot after, some interesting detours, when we arrived to proceed with the photo shoot, we usually, have everything clean and organized. That wasn't the case. When we arrived there, the landlord was taking a shower, all naked, but the doors were open.
What? What?
I know.
What is going on? That was a very eventful day for you.